Good afternoon. My name is Norman Cabral. I'm the commander of the Richard F. Howland chapter of the National Guard Field Artillery Veterans Organization. I want to welcome you all here this afternoon and thank you for your attendance today. Quite frankly, this is a much bigger turnout than I had expected, but that's a good thing. I'm going to start by introducing some of our guests. Representing the city of New Bedford is Christine Arsenault. Mayor John Mitchell was supposed to be here, but Christine told me he got stuck in Washington, D.C. He missed his flight. Steve Martins, where are you, Steve? Okay, Steve Martins, City Councilor. Joe Lopes, City Councilor. And with Linda Morad. Any other City Councilors here that I missed? Okay, welcome. We have the Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Holloway, the battalion commander of the 1st 101 Field Artillery Battalion stationed out of Brockton, and they do have batteries in Fall River. His Command Sergeant Major Ames, and we're Captain. What is it? Madruga. He's the commander of a battery in Fall River, and his first sergeant. Oh, okay. Thank you. And several soldiers here representing the A battery. We also have retired Brigadier Generals Frank Labalita. Frank is the Director of Historical Services and Militia Affairs. Wait a minute. Director of Veterans Affairs, and Brigadier General retired Len Kondrachuk. He's the Director of Historical Services and Militia Affairs. Both of these gentlemen work out of the Adjutant General's office up in Hanscom Air Force Base. We're here this afternoon to dedicate this 4-foot granite bench honoring the officers and enlisted men of the 1st Howitzer Battalion, 211th Field Artillery, who were called to federal active duty on May 13th, 1968, as the country was ramping up for the ongoing war in Vietnam. That beautiful granite bench came from the state of Vermont and has been prepared by Totul Monuments here in the city. They're up on Rockdale Avenue. It features an inscription and artwork that is associated with both the 1st Battalion, 211th Field Artillery, and the 101st Field Artillery. Namely, the Indian head insignia that's worn by all soldiers of those two units, the state patch of the Massachusetts National Guard, and the cross cannons representing field artillery. Let me tell you how this bench came to be a reality and how we came to be here on this cloudy but not rainy afternoon. In early 1968, it was apparent that Vietnam could not be concluded without a substantial buildup of U.S. ground troops. The 1st 211th Field Artillery Battalion had been on an accelerated training schedule for approximately 2 years. That means that their weekend drills that are called MUTA-4s, they had been extended to MUTA-5s, meaning instead of going in on Saturday morning, a lot of the troops went in on Friday evening and were there until Sunday afternoon. There was a plus for a couple of years. They had been having multiple weekend drills. Instead of one weekend drill a month, they had been having 2 weekend drills a month. So that made them an ideal candidate for a mobilization. And when the call-up came on May 13th, 1968, the 1st Battalion, 211th, was part of 24,500 soldiers throughout the country that were mobilized for the Vietnam buildup. Sent down to Fort Benning, Georgia for 24 months, we were attached to the 197th Infantry Brigade. While the unit itself never left the United States, it became a filler unit. It became a filler unit. Every month, levies would come down based upon your rank, your MOS, and the needs of the various military units in South Vietnam. 10 this month, 8 next month, and all about 280 some odd officers and men ended up levied to Vietnam. And also the troops returning from the Southeast Asia theater became fillers. When the battalion, when the tour of duty ended, the battalion was released from active duty at Fort Devens, Massachusetts on December 12, 1969, and once again came under the Adjutant General of Massachusetts and resumed their state mission. Now we fast forward to 2014. Several of our chapter members noticed that no place in the city of New Bedford was there a structure or a monument dedicated to that mobilization in 1968. We discussed it at some of our chapter meetings. We meet once a month, we meet. And it was decided that a fitting tribute would be a granite park bench. In September of last year, 2015, right up the road at Applebee's restaurant, we held a very, very successful fundraiser. It was a pancake breakfast, and every member in the chapter received 4 tickets. A lot of the members sent in, the tickets were $10 each, and a lot of members sent in the $40, a check for $40, and returned the tickets. But we did have nearly 100 people attend that pancake breakfast. We raised a little over $2,000 for the bench. In searching for a sitting for the bench, the mayor's office was contacted. They informed us that in that spot there was an old park bench with wooden slats, and the siding was it was ornamental, right? Wrought iron is the word I'm looking for. And the city took that out, refurbished it, and put it downtown someplace. Do you happen to know where, Christine? They put it someplace downtown. And they told us we could have this slab here, which was perfect for our bench. So Totul Monuments was commissioned to construct the bench, and here we are on this Sunday afternoon to dedicate it. Now, I understand that Generals Labalita and Kondrachuk have some pins to present to members of the battalion that were deployed to Southeast Asia, to Vietnam. So I will call upon them at this time to present those pins.
Thank you very much, Norm, and thank you all for being here today. I am honored to be part of this ceremony. I bring you all the greetings of Major General Gary Keefe, the new Adjutant General of the Commonwealth. He sends his best wishes. I think it's important that things like this be done. It's important that future generations know that citizen soldiers from this community were called upon by their nation and answered the call and served their country. So along those lines, General Kondrachuk and I will be presenting the pins that Norm spoke about.
Christine Arsenal. I'm from the mayor's office. Mayor Mitchell had planned on being here today. He's been in Washington, D.C. for the weekend, and he missed his flight. He should have been back in New Bedford between 1 and 2 o'clock. Plenty of time to be here, but he missed his flight. So he called and extends his sincere apologies. But I know that he's very proud of New Bedford and the veterans that have served before us, but also of all the traditions of the groups like the Howland chapter, who continue these traditions for those that have served and serve as an example for the younger generations as they come home to be proud and to take part in these ceremonies as well. So the beautiful bench, we are thrilled to have you do the fundraising for it. It's a lot of work, and we're happy to help install. We just want to say that, as it says, the nation remembers, New Bedford remembers, and we thank you all for coming here today. So Mayor Mitchell sends his grateful thanks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And that concludes our ceremony. We want to thank everyone for attending today and supporting us as we continue to support our veterans.